What is going on, you guys? It is Will here, and you already know. Today we're taking a look at the 50th anniversary Memorial Box Godzilla 1984. Here is his card real quick. And again, these cards are just supposed to represent the movies that the figures are based on. They don't necessarily represent the figures themselves, but just the movies that they're from. So we have Godzilla in Japanese, since that was what the movie was called back when it came out in 1984. It was the 16th Godzilla movie, and a really nice full body shot of Godzilla right there. One thing I really liked about Godzilla 1984 was the movie had a ton of great visuals. Like, let's check out this picture right here. We have Godzilla, and see all the smoke and fire from his destruction in the background. Yeah, Godzilla 84, it was this real dark movie and had really great visuals. Seriously, one of my favorites in the series. Here we have Godzilla 1984 himself, and this figure, it's still unreal that I have this thing. I've waited so long and hunted for this figure for a long time, and I finally have him now. How did I do that? Well, let's see. It's called having a job, having a bank account, and saving a bunch of money. Bring this guy in closer, you can see what just nice, gorgeous detail this figure has. Skin detail is all really nicely done. Even just for a standard Bandai figure, this figure is just incredibly done. Ready to watch this. Look at how long this guy's tail is. Like, seriously, this guy's tail, it takes up the entire frame. I used to think that Godzilla 2000 had a long tail, but this guy definitely takes the cake. So that's one downfall about this figure. Make sure you have a lot of shelf space because his tail is too long. Seriously, skin detail, this guy's skin is really nicely captured as well. It looks mutated and just incredibly nicely done. Even the face, and he has his fangs, if you can see that there. Let's trim on this side. Although I wish the fangs were just slightly bigger, but, I don't want to sound picky. Now, Godzilla 84, he had kind of a derp look in some scenes, like the eyes look like they're going two different directions. When I look at the figure through the camera, yes, I can kind of see that one eye is looking a different direction than the other. But when you hold the figure in person, or if you look at him, just straight on, you don't really notice that derpiness. As for articulation, Godzilla has a swivel head, which is a nice touch I may add. His arms go in and out. The legs rotate, no problem, so he's good for walking in your stop motion movies. There's a glue seal at the tail, but you do not want to break that because of how rare and valuable the figure is. So I'm just going to leave that alone. And yeah. And the paint job on this guy is also really nicely done as well. I think this is one of the only few Memorial Box Godzillas that actually does have charcoal black for the skin color. All of the Memorial Box Godzillas are green, and if you can imagine this figure with a green paint job, he would look like a Ninja Turtle. I guess the one big thing that stands out about this figure in his paint job is the spines. Godzilla has kind of these beige, kind of light tannish color spines, and I think this really makes the figure stand out from a lot of the other Memorial Box figures. This looks really nicely done. I'm not sure if they were this color in the movie, because the movie you always saw Godzilla kind of at night, so it's kind of hard to tell what color his spines were, but these look really nicely done. And they got the position of the largest spine correct. For those of you who don't know, you probably should know, Godzilla 1984 is the only Godzilla suit that has the largest spine on the lower half of his body. Which is So the paint job on this guy is really nicely done as well. One thing I have to mention about the paint job is if you look at the toes, look on mine specifically, they're two different colors. This one's a little more faded, this one is much more vibrant. There's a reason for that. So after I unboxed this figure, later on that day, this figure took a tumble off my desk, unfortunately, and it scuffed up these two toes pretty badly. So I mixed up some paints to kind of match the color of the spines, and took a toothpick and gently went over the scuffs with the toothpick covered in paint. From a distance, he doesn't look so bad, but from up close, you can tell that the figure was, custom touched up. I didn't want to leave this figure all scuffed up because of how rare and valuable he is. I couldn't afford to leave him like that. I wanted to make him look, decent again. So this figure was first released back in the Bandai 50th Memorial Box, and sadly, he was the only Godzilla 84 figure that was released with this kind of paint job at the time. There is another Godzilla 1984 figure that was released by Bandai, but he was for some weird exclusive DVD release. you know, some weird DVD. I mean, the figure had a glossier paint job and silver spines, I think. Yeah, so I don't know. That figure is even more hard to find than this one. So yeah, I wouldn't bother with that one. So now we'll move on to sizing just real quick. Now here's a figure that I've never brought out in any videos before because of how scuffed up he is, but I have to do it for this review. Godzilla 1954. As you can see, the 1984 Godzilla is based off the 1954 Godzilla almost entirely. A lot of the traits from the 54 Godzilla were brought back with the 84 Godzilla, such as the tiny ears, four-toed feet, as well as the fangs were also brought back. And again, I already mentioned, you know, the difference between the dorsal spine. See, Godzilla 54 has them in the middle of his back. Godzilla 84 has it on his lower waist. Really, really nicely done here. But yeah, as you can see, you know, Godzilla 84 is scaled up just right. He's not too short, not too small. He fits in perfect scale with the other 6-inch Godzilla figures. Now, because Godzilla in 1984, a lot of people, they see as started the Heisei series, but if you want to be technical, if you look at the eras of Japan, 84 is the end of the Showa era, and Heisei didn't start till 89, but whatever. Here we have the Heisei Godzilla to scale him up with as well. As you can see, there are quite a bit of differences between these two guys. Mainly being, you know, the 84 Godzilla is based off the 1954 Godzilla in its entirety, whereas the 90s Godzilla, Heisei 93, whatever you want to call him, is more so what he was portrayed to be in his movies, a mutant dinosaur. And as much as I love the Heisei movies, I love all the Versus movies, they were incredibly fun. I kind of prefer the dark tone of Godzilla 84 just a little more, because the 84 film was meant to recapture the same message that the original Godzilla film brought, where Godzilla is, you know, the symbol of the atomic bomb. He's this threat, you know, he's a message of what could happen when mankind tries to play God when they're not supposed to. You know, when mankind falls into conflict with nature, monsters get born. I just love, you know, when Godzilla is this dark threat, this force, you know, this symbol of the atomic bomb. That's how I like Godzilla. I like him like that. But don't get me wrong, Heisei movies are still pretty fun. All the versus movies, all the matchups, fight with other monsters. Heisei, they're still pretty fun. But as much as I hate to say it, you know, the Heisei movies, they were fun, but Heisei Godzilla, he was more so just a big marketing campaign. Like, the number of advertisements you see this thing on, it's kind of crazy. Here's another thing I have to be nitpicky about is, why is 84 Godzilla hunched over, Heisei standing upright? It should be the other way around. Even if you look on the card, you see 84 Godzilla stands more upright, and Heisei Godzilla should be more hunched over. I think Bandai did a little mix-up there. And just for fun of it, I'll go ahead and bring out my other Memorial Godzillas. Here we have 1965 and Meltdown Godzilla, who I haven't shown in a long time as well. So yeah, these are my three Memorial figures, my three official Memorial figures. I'm not counting, you know, the Memorial repaints like 75 and 68. Nah, just these guys here. And just for the fun of it, we'll pull out Godzilla 2000 here because these guys are known to have pretty long tails, and you can see 84's tail is just a little bit longer than 2000, surprisingly, which is pretty crazy. I always thought this guy had the longest tail, but nope. So yeah, you guys, that's pretty much all I have for you with Godzilla 1984. He is a pretty incredible figure. Definitely one of the best in the Memorial Box. Definitely one of Bandai's best, I would say. This figure is the much better 6-inch 84 Godzilla. It's better than the NECA figure, definitely. The NECA figure, I mean, yes, they fixed the head on it, but this one is just much more better in detail, more superior. You know, the NECA one, I don't know. The head looks good, but the whole body's really weirdly proportioned, you know. And the spines are way too small in the NECA. And I'm not even going to compare this guy to the X Plus figures. That's just way unfair. I mean, just look at the 30 centimeter. That 30 centimeter X Plus figure is just absolutely incredible. I plan to get that one day. Hopefully at G-Fest next year. But yeah, guys, Godzilla 1984 from the 50th Memorial Box. Incredibly done figure. You know, definitely one of Bandai's best. Be careful when you're trying to find this guy, because there are bootlegs of this figure out there now, but they're pretty easy to spot. You know, the paint job is atrocious, it's horrible, and the figure's eyes aren't even colored in, so just be careful. But anyways, you guys, that's all I got for you today, and we will see you in the next review.